In order to get a massive alt season, you need these big fat liquidations. It really resets the momentum, it resets the oscillators, everything, in order to get a big powerful move. That is what I'm thinking is happening here. Basically, the shakeout before the breakout, quote unquote, right? So anyways, all right, now let's look at the price structure of ADA. It actually looks really good now because now I see a three-wave shape, right? Now we know for sure this is the fourth wave. Because remember, let me go back to XRP for a second. By the way, this is part 2 of the video. If you're watching, it just started a couple minutes ago, or not even a minute ago. But if we go to XRP right here, remember when we were in this correction right here, and I kept saying, I don't know if this is the fourth wave, because if you look at wave 1 and you look at wave 2, look how big wave 2 is, but look how small wave 4 is. It's really, really small. So either I said the wave 3 isn't finished, so this is 1, 2, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, or actually, well, no, 5 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And this would be wave 4. And then we go on and go higher, but look at wave 4. Look how small it is compared to that. So that didn't make sense, right? But now, since we had this A, B, C, potential, right? It's all potential expanded flat. Now this three-wave move is in line with this move here, right? If you look at the time, it's in the realm of a possibility. So that's 64 days right there. And then if we take, now this one's a little bit different because you could start it here, and actually the low was very, very quick. But if you go out here, that's almost 90 days. But it's still in the realm of the same degree, right? So basically 1, and then you have 2, and then you have 3, and then you have 4. And that 4, now it matches up a lot better as far as time, as far as the degree, as far as the size, as far as things like that. It matches up a lot better, right? As you know, as far as the size. So there you go. So, all right, so let me go back to ADA. If you want more of XRP, watch part 1. I'm not sure if I'm going to have part 1 and part 2 in all of the same video. I'd like to do that, but a lot of times it takes so long for that to happen. So, because I don't know why, it just takes forever. So if we look at ADA, and we're going to look at Theta next, so be ready. We're going to look at Theta next, but ADA, to me, this looks like it's in the same degree now. So now, without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt, now we know for sure that this is a fourth wave. If, in fact, this low holds. The low has to hold. If the low doesn't hold, then this is a three-wave move, and then we're going down. For example, it could be a rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, and then we go sideways for the next 6 to 8 months, and then we go breakout, right? That could also be a factor. But I'm just looking at it bare bones the way it is now. So, yeah, I think what do we need to see here for ADA? Look at ADA, dude. It's still pumping. Oh my God, it is pumping like a beast. Let me see. I kind of screwed up yesterday because I remember buying the dip really, really low, and then it shot up, and then it started to break down. No, okay, now I remember. Okay, so I bought the dip. I bought it right here. Okay, and then we broke out. I felt good, and then we had this three-wave pullback, but I don't know why, but I got rid of my position, and then it started to come back up, and then I jumped back in somewhere over here. Okay, but I'm glad I did. This is really good. This is what you want to see for something like a C19 style event, right? So let's look at Bitcoin, and we'll compare it side by side to the C19 event that we had, and I lived through that, and I remember coming home from work and seeing the prices like that, and I'll never forget that day because that was the day that that was our last day of work, right? Because I worked for a school during the time. Okay, I did maintenance, I did custodial, I did a lot of that type of stuff. You know, setting up things for classrooms and things like that. But anyway, the school shut down, and that was when we had this big event. So if we look, and we're just gonna start with Theta. Let me see if Theta looks the same. Yeah, see, Theta looks a little bit different than, well, maybe not quite. I'm gonna go back to ADA. I don't know what happened to it here. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay, so here's the two situations here. All right, and we have to be lucky too, because this happened over a series of a long time. This is happening within days, so it should resolve itself pretty quickly here. Hopefully, we'll see. So yeah, this could be the top here. Boom, boom, right? Boom, 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 and then down, and then down, and then shoot up. So maybe we might get something like that over the next day or so. But yeah, here's the fractal right here. Now these are two completely different time frames, but the structure is pretty much the same, right? Again, this is a massive liquidation event, right? And here's your little roundabout, and now we hit the high, and then you kind of bake your way in, right? Without taking the high. So we'll see how that plays. But anyway, that's ADA. Same thing with Filecoin, looking good. So there's a lot of stuff I need to say, but I don't want to make the video too long. But we have to look at a lot of charts, and we have to see which ones are strong recovery, because it's all about the recovery. They all dump very viciously, but which ones recover the best? Which ones recover the strongest? So far, XRP looks the strongest. Madic looks okay, not that impressive. But let's go to XRP, because we didn't look at the small time frames in here. This thing went up literally. Let's go to the 1 minute chart and see exactly what happened. Just for fun. Look at this, guys. This thing went up literally from the bottom all the way to the top. This thing went up 67 cents in 1 hour. Okay, think about that for a second, because before, XRP wasn't even 67 cents itself, let alone 50 cents, right? It was 50-60 cents for the longest time. And just yesterday we went up 67 cents within a matter of an hour. That's pretty remarkable. So anyways, but yeah, you could see, look at XRP, the strength here. Now the problem that I'm seeing is that this is 1 2 3. We don't want that. This could be 1 2 1 2, and this could be 3, but we still need a 4 and a 5, right? We need a 5-wave move. Okay, that'll solidify the low. Look at oh, this is just another. Okay, that's the other time frame. Okay, so this could be a 1 2 3. I mean, all we have is 3 waves. This could be a wave 1. This could be a 3-wave pullback. If you flip it upside down, it actually looks bad, meaning good, right? It actually looks, because of how insane that is. That's a drastic move there. So if we look at this correction here, So this was the violent back test that BCB talked about. Let me show you that right here. I actually can't show it because I'm processing this other video. So if you look at this, I shared this yesterday. Basically, here's the fractal where you move down. You break all the way up, and then you have a three-way move, violent back test all the way to the bottom, and then V-shaped recovery, brand new all-time high. So if you fast forward XRP, what it did is it came up here, right? And then it had the violent back test, massive, way further, even taking the low here, and then it's coming back to here. So it actually is a really good fractal of what we saw. Here's another chart that he shared that I really appreciate. Look at this, the Litecoin fractal. This is why I love his channel. I highly recommend subscribing because he puts out really good fractals. But if you look at this right here, this was also kind of what's happening here with Litecoin back in the day, where you also had this massive expanded flat. Look at this. You had an A. Actually, let me change the color. So you have A, B, C. A, B, C, a massive expanded flat. Exactly what we saw today with XRP, right? And then it came back, and then it kind of flagged out a little bit, and then it continued higher. So if you look at XRP, it's basically the same thing. You have an A, B, C, a massive expanded flat. So you come up here, and then hopefully let's break out. So everything to me, yes, we had a very vicious slam, but there's a difference between something crashing versus something liquidating. If it's a liquidation event, then you should get bought up really quick. So here's that same picture, just a little bit closer. You could see the ABC came up, went sideways. Let's go up, let's go sideways, and then break out, break out. We'll see how that plays. So this is a good chart. This is another screenshot. Look at this, right? We had the expanded flat. Now look at the target. Look where Litecoin went. Look at this big, giant liquidation event in Litecoin. That was a 60-70% move to the downside. Much bigger than XRP, mind you. Okay, it was huge. But then look what happened after that. After Litecoin did that, we went all the way up to the 4.236 extension within a matter of several months, right? So if that's the same thing, then if we look at XRP, that could also be a potential outcome, maybe $8, $9, $10, right? So you could see it actually went above it a little bit here. So that would put it around that $9 or $10 mark, which isn't that much of a deal. But the way I look at it is, remember the great rotation that I'm talking about. I want to rotate my XRP once we start getting up here because if XRP is leading in terms of strength and percentages, then I want to wait until it gasses out a lot of those momentum percentages, if you will, and rotate it into something like Theta or whatever, something that has a much higher higher percentage value. Okay, so here's Theta, and Theta, let's see, it has gone up approximately about 35%, right? Versus XRP has gone up, oh my God, almost 65%. Insane, okay? So which one's, you can clearly see which one's stronger. Someone says, well, why would you buy XRP when another coin has more percentages? Because it's not there yet. It's not time to rotate yet. All right, well, let's look at Theta. See, Theta looks, I don't like the shape of it. That's the only problem. Like ADA had a really good shape. Let me just look around. Oh man, that looks like a disaster. Oh, what about Monero? I forgot about Monero. Oh my God, look at that. Look at those candles. This is super bullish for Monero, I think. I mean, just the way it came down like that, and then you could see these dojis in here. But we'll go back to Monero. I'm kind of jumping around a little bit. I'm just trying to see the shape. Look at Chainlink. Look at the shape of the move. All right, let's look at XLM. Oh, XLM looks really good. Look at the shape of the move. It looks really good. Let's look at Algo. Algo looks really good. Look at the shape. A beautiful three-wave shape. God, I hate pink. Let me go back to blue. There we go. A beautiful three-wave shape. Now that's an ugly three-wave shape. Look how it went down. It went flat and then just died, you know. So, I mean, it still could be good, but I'm looking for nice looking shapes. ICP, oh my God, that looks terrible. That looks bad. But wait, I didn't zoom out. Okay, yeah, it looks okay. It's got a nice shape to it. I just wasn't zoomed in all the way. Or zoomed out all the way. What happened to Theta Fuel? Guys, Theta Fuel looks still really, really good. You could still see, you know, boom, you got 3 down, you got 3 up, and you got 3 down. Guys, I think the low's in. I think the low's in. If the low is not in and we break the low, then we're in a bear market. It's pretty simple. So I'm glad that this happened because now it makes everything simple. It's very simple. If the low gets taken, we're in a bear market. If the low holds, we're in a bull market. Very simple. So we don't have to worry. Should I sell? Should I buy? Should I wait? Should I hold? Should I not? I don't know. You know. So the way I'm going to play it is I'm going to tell you exactly how I'm going to play it in the next member video. I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm going to do. Theta. All right, so we'll go back to Theta. It doesn't really, now when you look at Theta from this perspective, you can say, yeah, that's a big 3-wave move there, and it could be like a running flat, right? So the way I look at this now is you have 3 up, and then you have 3 down. What comes next, guys? And then the 3 down actually lines up with how this came. The same thing over here, guys, on this fractal. Look at this. You get 3 up, 3 down. Look where the low came. It came right down to these lows here. Boom. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we zoom out. Look at this. Same thing, just on a much bigger frame. 3 up. There's your 3 up. And then you get 1, 2, 3 down. There's your 3 down. And then you have 1, 2, 3. That's the same thing over here. 1, 2, 3. And then look what happened after that. Let's see if we get the same reaction following the next several weeks and months. I think this is actually bullish because you have to understand, we still have an XRP ETF coming. We still have regulations coming. We still have the stockpile, whatever that they're trying to do. There's still a lot of, you know, the SEC is totally changing. The lawsuit is also going to drop. And then we also have things like certain applications for blockchain. Remember, Trump wants the economy on steroids. Well, how do you do that? You need crypto for certain businesses like Walmart and Costco and the U.S. Mail, the Postal Service, or all the way to AI and computers, to this, to that. I mean, Amazon, whatever. All those businesses can use applications with blockchain, and some of them are already using it, but a lot of them, not talking about coins per se, I'm talking about the technology. But basically, those technologies are on certain networks, and those networks have coins, and those coins are circling through, you know, the liquidity of that network, right? So it's all going to be bullish, all right? So the way I'm looking at this is maybe we might need, you know, there's no guarantee that the low is in. And the problem that I see with Theta is if I take a bars pattern here, all right, let's take a bars pattern and I match it right there, and then let me just drag it over here, and then let me resize it. So if I resize it, you can see that we actually have more downside, unfortunately. And if we do have more downside, then, you know, are we in a bear market? Well, let's just put it this way. The bear market would take so much more time, right? We don't want to come down here because then it's just going to take so much time to recover. right? Or if it's in a bear market, it could be even more devastating. Um, but again, I think if we do break the low after we just had the liquidation event, shows that they're selling follow through following a major liquidation. And if there's follow through, then that means bears are in control. But if we did come down and take the low, we would still have a nice looking three-wave shape. So I'm kind of a little bit conflicted with Theta here. So what I would say is if we break these lows or this low here, and if we wick above it, it might be okay, but it'll just take a lot longer. So let's just hope that it is secure for now. If you look at the rectangle here and we look at this is right where we should be, right? So yeah, there's the fractal. Let me see if I can tone it down and look at it with some more detail here. Yeah, so you have this drop, and then you go sideways, and you have a big drop, you come up, you hit the low, you come up, you hit the low, then you come up again to the high, and then you drop. You come up again, and then you drop. And then the low's in. So if we have to go through all that, man, that's going to be tough. Hopefully, now that I see the fractal and I see the structure, I'm a little bit more concerned. I just want to make things clear. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. We have, it just literally happened yesterday. So it needs time for the market to digest what happened. So basically the whole world knows what happened. So now it's all about how does the world react? And you really want to give it 72 hours, right? Because that's when people move stuff off of their ledgers. That's when they move stuff off their computer, off into exchanges. They sell, they buy, they hold, they wait, So that's what we have to wait and see how people react down here. Do they react and they say, okay, I got to get out and we're going to crash? Or do they look at it like as an opportunity, we're going to go up? We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Let's zoom in. So all we have here is just a three-way pullback. So we have a big crash and a three-way pullback. So we're probably going to have to come all the way back to the lows, unfortunately, because again, like I said in yesterday's video, when we crashed, I think we were like somewhere in here. And I said, yeah, I could be done, maybe not. I did fire a couple bullets. Those positions did get I stopped out. So now I waited. I got in a little bit. I have to look at my entries. But now I'm like, okay, what do? Do I hold it all the way down? Do I take profit and then buy back in here? Or maybe this thing is in the start of just a little bit of a pullback, and then we keep going higher. So yeah, those are things I have to take seriously. If you look at Filecoin, and I hate showing this, but I got in at 292. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. So that was a very good entry. Okay, so let's go to Filecoin, because I don't even remember either. So I got in at 292. So that's right there. So that's okay. I missed this wick. I really, really wanted the wick, but I missed it. So I got in right there. And now I have to figure out what I'm going to do. Am I going to hold it? I mean, it kind of looks like you have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Maybe we can flag out, get an ABC correction, continue higher. I mean, that would be the cool thing. Or what's going to happen is we're probably going to have to create some type of base in here, right, like that, and then blast off, which would then put my position at a very high risk. That's why I'm showing you my position, because I'm making people think, well, what about your position? What about, how are you playing it? Basically, I'm kind of just waiting to see, but I will take a little profit off the top. I get ICP, I got into 627, SHIB, I got in there. Algo and Madic. Madic wasn't that good. Algo was pretty good. 25 cents. It's up 5 cents. I got AVAX 25 or 23.5. And then Litecoin 92.52, and then ADA 65.86. So you can say, oh, well, then you made some good money. Actually, no, I'm actually negative. I actually had more money before the crash because I'm in a big XRP position, and XRP took a major hit. So that, and then also I was in a couple other longs too that I had to get out fast, which I lost a lot of money. I lost a lot of money on that liquidation, but that's okay because, it is what it is. It comes with the territory. You know what I mean? Like, no guts, no glory, right? So, but if we start rampaging our way back, then maybe we, just to get a retracement, then I can make some of that money back, or most likely make it all back and then some, because we're starting from such a low spot. Like back over here, I'd get in over here, we would write it up, and that move right there made a lot of the money. But if you take that same length and go up like this, you're talking about the same amount or even more, right? So what's going on with Filecoin? Filecoin looks weird. It looks like a head and shoulders, right? So somebody looking at this chart says it's bearish, and they could be right. They could be totally right, right? So you have this big move up, you come down, you can't come up, you can't come up, you can't come up. You got a head and shoulders, we're going to break down. That's what it looks like, but that's probably not what it is. What it is, ladies and gentlemen, ready? You guys already know what I'm going to say. We got 3 waves up, and we got 3 waves down. That is exactly what you want to see. So you get 3 up, and you get 3 down, and then plus you have this liquidity grab, and plus you can add Wyckoff to the mix. This thing should have 5 up. So 3 up, 3 down, and then you get 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Let's get up here. This is your ABC. I am super bullish on Filecoin. If that's the count, it might not be the count. I think sentiment is in the gutter. I think everybody threw in the towel. I think everybody kind of feels a little bit hopeless, but I think we still have a big possibility for this to be roll right here. We have, let me just draw it faster, an A, right? We have a B, and then we would get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a C, right? And then this could be, because we still need a retrace. Look at what Filecoin did. Filecoin went all the way up to like $150, $160, and it crashed all the way back down. It created a 1, 2, 3, 4 bottoms, right? It created all of these bottoms, all of this sideways base, the liquidity grab. So what comes next? The retracement. We don't have a retrace in Filecoin. I'm still looking for a retracement. So, when you look at things like Blockchain Backer said, he nailed it. He said, and I've been asking about this too, like, because he's only been looking at Bitcoin and XRP. I go, what about like other coins like Total 3 or Filecoin or Madic or anything else? And now he starting to share things like that too, because there's 2 different markets, right? You have Bitcoin and XRP way up here, flagging out, and then you have some coins like Filecoin that are basically at their all-time lows. I mean, if you look at Filecoin, it's never been the lowest it's ever been in its life. Wait, does that even make sense? I don't even know what I just said. But you have lows, 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 lows. I mean, you have all of these lows, guys. This is interesting for an investor. This is where people should be buying the dip. And you can say, well, I already bought the dip. I already wasted my monthly allowance. Well, then you got a dollar cost average, you got to have a dollar cost averaging strategy. So yeah, I think this is bullish. Now, it could be bearish. Now, if things get really nasty and we start breaking down and we take out these lows here, then it would be total devastation. Because now when you come back up, you're going to have a lot of resistance. You're going to have more resistance than ever before. So we're at a very dangerous point, but we're also at a very risk-taking point, like a high, a high stakes, high risk, high reward, high stakes situation here, where everybody who's bought down in here was rewarded vastly. You buy here, you go up. You buy here, you go up. You buy here, you go up. So is it going to be the same? Now, we really don't want all of these lows here, because every time you come down, you weaken it, you weaken it, you weaken it, you weaken it. The more times you bounce, the more times it's going to get weak, right? But the only thing I love about the chart is that we have 3 waves up and we have 3 waves down, which means you at least need another 3 up. So it needs to be 1, 2, 3, right? So that's the way I look at it. Now, the bearish way to look at it is that you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you have a 3-way pullback, and this is a wave 1, this is a wave 2, and now we're on a wave 3, 4, and 5. That would be incredibly bearish. That's what I'm saying. If we take out these lows, how much pain is it going to take before that, doesn't make sense anymore? Well, if we take a trend-based fib extension, we can get that answer pretty fast, where we just put it there to there, back up to here. Look at that. We're not even at the 1-to-1. That's kind of weird. Let me see here. Is this on log? No. Okay, so the 1-to-1, yeah, it's not right. It's not right. Okay. I'm not sure why it does that. Maybe put it on regular. Yeah, it shows the 1-to-1 at -39, so that doesn't make any sense. So probably got to look at a log scale, but for time purposes, I'm not going to do that. All right, Madic. So let's keep looking here. I'm trying to just look at the usual suspects. I'm sorry if I didn't get to your comment. It's been so busy. My phone's been blowing up. Hey, what's going on? It is what it is, right? So Madic actually looks, I don't like it. Because before, look, you have 3 down, you have 3 up, and then you have 3 back down, right? Now, this also could be a triangle where you have W, X, Y, and then we have, or no. You have A, B, C, and then D, and then E, and then go. So some kind of contracting triangle. I just don't really like Madic right now, even though I did take a little bit of a stab at it. You're basically at all-time lows here, or you're basically at the very, very lowest point of this range, basically 21. So basically we had a 4-year range, right? And we're at the lowest point we've been in the last 4 years. So that's pretty bearish, but it's also could spark opportunity, right? I don't like it now because it looks like a descending triangle. It looks really bearish. Actually, it looks really bearish. It looks like a descending triangle, guys, unfortunately. So this thing could come down, right? Maybe Polygon is overvalued. I don't know. It just doesn't, I don't like it. I don't like it. So let's look at Ethereum. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I will never lie. I give you my complete honest opinion. And Madic does not look good. I don't know. It just doesn't look right. So Ethereum, on the other hand, looks okay. Because we have 3 waves. Okay. We have a 1, 2, 1, 2. We have a wave 3. So 1, 2, 1, 2. We have a wave 3. And then we have an A. We come up for a B, and now we're coming down for a C, and that would be your wave 4. So your wave 3, your wave 1, your wave 2. There you go, right? A, B, C. So what do we want to see? A little bit of a base, get bought up a little bit, maybe flag out. We want to see 5 waves in there, get an A, B, C, and then start working your way back up into a wave 5. So there you go. That's the main bullish idea for Ethereum. Now, before, we were looking at this as an impulse, a three-way pullback. We have a base here. We break out, and then we flag out, and then we continue higher. Obviously, that didn't happen, right? So that was actually one of the main ideas. But we have this big liquidation, which means what? Which means we have 3 down, we get 3 up, and then we get 3 back down. So WXY, something like that. All right, that's Ethereum. It looks okay. Let me look at the small time frames. Yeah, we're marching up, so that's good. But don't forget, we will probably come back down and revisit the lows. And then come back up, maybe then something like that. And then maybe break out. You know, that's kind of how things play out. You know, maybe some type of ascending triangle, some type of Wyckoff structure, some type of impulse. I mean, that's what we need to see. That's what we need to look for. Trump coin, it looks okay. Not really. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure about it. You know, it's just not one of my things right now. Okay, we've already looked at XRP, but we did get a little bit of a pullback here. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, that's exactly the fractal. Remember, we were just looking at it. Come back down here a little bit. Let's see what happens. All right, let's look at Monero. Oh, look at Monero. It's popping up. Oh, because I was looking at the 1 minute chart. Duh. Okay, let me zoom out a little bit further. It still looks really good, man. Jeez, Louise. I wish I would have loaded up on Monero. I just didn't though, but dang. What am I saying here? Well, look at this. We have an expanded flat right there. All right. So we have 3, and then we have 3. So 3 down, 3 up, and then 3 back down. So it's like a weird looking flat. It's a running flat. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's your running flat right there. So from point to point to point. That's the running flat. So we'll see how that plays out. Yeah. So amidst all the carnage, Monero actually really didn't even flinch. It still looks really, really, really bullish. You got higher highs, right? Higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. I mean, you're trending up, guys. I've been telling you about Monero. It looks totally different than everything else by far. Look how bullish this looks, right? You break out, you have this running flat on top of the breakout, and you back test it twice. I mean, that's super bullish. You got this big cup here, and then you have this long elongated accumulation structure, right? So we want to round out in here. We want to get back up here, and we can break out. We can hit $1,000 pretty soon, if it keeps pumping here. Maybe in the next several months we could get back into the 300s up here, because we still have all of this to deal with, right? We have this big zone here. So I mean, we're cutting through. It's taking a long time because we got to cut through all of these retracement levels. So I'm still really bullish on Monero. If there's any coin I can hold right now that has stood the test of time, it would probably be XRP and Monero. All the other ones kind of, I mean, look at Monero. It's back to where it was, guys. Look at this. If you go to the 2-week chart and you just look at this, the candle is literally back to the swing high already. Look at that. It came all the way down and it got bought right back up. That, to me, shows tremendous strength. Buyers stepped up very hard with Monero. Smart money, in my opinion. So, all right, let's look at Litecoin here. Litecoin, I think we looked at Litecoin a little bit, but Litecoin also looks bullish to me. It also has that same appearance like Monero, where you have this type of structure here, and now you have a three-way pullback. So Litecoin is also very bullish. Wow, look at that. So you have this impulse, A, B, C, A, B, C. Perfect. Now, the question is it finished, right? Now, you can see this big wick. We got bought up pretty aggressively, but the question is, are we going to have to come back and retest 50% of this wick on the next candle? Meaning tomorrow's candle, do we have to come all the way down, right, and retest 50% of that candle? A lot of times we do. Unfortunately, that's just the way it goes. You can see we had a big wick over here. We had a big crash. We got bought up, and then we kind of fell back, and then you could see this wick came all the way about maybe 40% or so of that wick. Now you also have something like this where you explode up, you have a big giant wick, and then you never come back and retest it. You just keep flying up, but then it turns into an expanded flat later, or a running flat later on. So if we were to translate that, it would be something like either we come down and continue higher, or this thing just keeps, ripping out of here, and then we have a big dump later and then pump. So it's kind of like a bigger running flat, if you will. So here we go. But yeah, when we look at it like this, we see a completed structure: 3 down, 3 up, 3 back down. Now this could turn into 5. Unfortunately, this could be 1, 2, 3. This could be a 4, and then we could get a 5. So if we get a 5, I know I said we would probably be in a bear market, but it's going to depend on a few things. But for XRP, we really don't want to do that. So, because if you take your strongest leader and have him break below the previous low, then what do you think the other coins are going to do? So, yeah, there's Litecoin. Let's take a look at Link. Link looks okay. Again, you have that 3-wave shape. XLM. I wish I bought XLM. I don't know why I missed it, but there you go. There's your 3-wave shape. Algo. Look at Algo, man. That looks beautiful. That's probably the best looking 3-wave I've seen. Just based off the structure. I mean, it just looks perfect. Let me see exactly where it went to. Let's take a trend-based fib extension here. And then we'll go here, and then we'll go back up. We basically hit the 786, right? So we wicked off of it, which is okay, right? I missed Jupiter, damn it. That was the two I kind of wanted to snag: Jupiter and XLM. Ethereum Classic, not really interesting. I think that wraps up the video, guys. I think we're pretty good. ICP. Yeah, you got that nice 3-wave shape in ICP. It's not the best looking one. It looks a little trashy, but it is what it is. CFX. Geez, CFX took the low here. Okay, so this one, I'm still looking at as a flat. So you have an A, a B, and then you have a C, or actually, yeah, boom, boom, boom. So there's your A, B, C, or even a, yeah. So here's your low here. So if we can hold in here and rip up, there's your 1, there's your 2. We'll see how that plays out. Bitcoin dominance. What happened to Bitcoin dominance? Whoa, we actually took the high here. So that's something we need to talk about. So let me look at Bitcoin dominance. Okay, so what we have here, guys, let me see. Let me look a little bit closer. Okay. I think we have a top. Now, it probably looks like a flat working here. Okay? And what I mean by that is you have this big move down. There's your A. And then we have 1, 2, 3. There's your B. But look at the B wave. The B wave actually took the top. Right? And we went up to 64%. And then we should come down for a C wave, A, B, C, right? That's what we want to see. So hopefully we get that. In order to get an alt season, that's what we need, right? Unless this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a 1, 2, and this is a 3, and we're about to get 4 and 5. And then the wave's over. Or this is a flat in here. So I think it's probably going to be a flat. That's what I think. You can see Bitcoin dominance is still kind of climbing here. Let's see. Let me go to the 45 minute. Yeah, it still looks really bullish because if you look at this, you have this three-way pullback in here. I think we're going to get back up here, but I think we're going to maybe get rejected in here. So we'll see how it plays out. Nothing is ever a guarantee. Just because, you know, things like this happen doesn't mean it can't continue happening. But also we have to keep in mind, look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin had a really strong reversal. That is really nice to see because that's what we want, right? We need Bitcoin to have those type of reversals in here. So let's look at Aave. I didn't look at Aave yet. Aave also looks really good. Now, when you zoom out, guys, let me just zoom out. Now, look at the chart. This is completely zoomed out. Do you see anything wrong with the chart? I mean, you have a little bit of a flag in here, but you have a big wick too, so that's getting bought up, right? So buyers are stepping up, but if you look at the chart a little bit closer, you can see we have a three-wave move here. Or actually, there's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we have 3, 3, 3. We have a three-wave move here. And then we got bought all the way back up. So what's probably going to happen is we're going to have to come and flag all the way back down, something like that, and then start to round out in here and then pop the high. Something like what Bitcoin did after C19. What about Near Protocol? Near Protocol got obliterated. So those are two different structures there. Let me see. Yeah, see, you could see it's this three-wave move is way bigger, right? So Aave had a three-wave move here, but this whole thing is a three-wave move. So I think it's too big, though. I don't know. I'm not really liking it too much, but it still looks okay. I mean, you have this impulse. You have a three-wave pullback. You're flagging out in here. Yeah, it was pretty devastating. It was pretty hardcore. But at the end of the day, it's all about what happens after the event. That was an event that took place. That was and you only get those events ever so often. It's not like they happen all the time. They happen randomly at different times, okay? So I didn't expect it to happen like that. That was insane what happened. But now that it happened, now we can just say we have to get over it. Look, we're investors. We're traders. You know, we stop feeling sorry for yourself. Stop feeling like, oh, you lost you. Oh well, that's just the way it works, man. We have to look past that. You know, you have to have laser eyes and diamond hands to get there, right? Only the strong survive. This is the deep state shaking out the weak hands. That's what it is. Are you a strong hand or are you weak hands? Right? Now, the way I become weak hands is, because I got to protect my capital, is if we start breaking more lower to the downside, then I have to start cutting things off until the market deleverage. Because everything is so leveraged up, you need a lot of deleveraging. Deleveraging. It helps the market basically reset itself. So there you go. Niaro, Doge. Jeez. Oh, this is a different chart here. Let me see. Dot. Yeah, that's C19 stuff right there. You can see this type of drop is the same as this type of drop. But look what happened after the drop. See how we went like this? We went sideways, we dropped. We went like this, sideways, and we dropped. But look what happened after that. We went sideways for a long time. So are we going to have to go sideways for a long time just to get another retrace? Or is it going to be a lot shorter lived, right? So you could see also like an accumulation cylinder, like we were talking about Livermore, or yeah, Livermore's whatever thing, where it kind of, yeah, this accumulation cylinder, and then it breaks out. So you could see right here, we had like a V shape where this was a base. So are we going to get a V shape or are we going to get a base? That's the big question. We'll see. H bar. I haven't looked at H bar. H bar looks really good. I freaking missed H bar, I think, too. I don't remember. Maybe I didn't. We have, yeah, we have three. Yeah, we have a three-wave move. There we go. So we shot. They're all the same, guys. They're all the same. So they all shot up. They all, basically all the market has a three-wave structure. And you could see the C wave is the most violent, and you could see that big wick down there. So it's got all of the makings of something good. Now, if you look at CRV, remember I've been talking about CRV and others saying it looks bearish. It looks like a descending triangle. I kept saying it over and over. You know, it looks like a descending triangle. It looks kind of bearish. But then on the other hand, it also had that three-wave shape. You had three down, three up, three back down. So I wasn't convinced. But basically, if you take the measured move here, you really want to do it from, I'm just going to do it from here. And then you come down. Look at that. We've actually exceeded the measured move. So I think the low is in. The technical target is over. That was the technical target right there. And we hit it. So now that we look at this, you could say a 1. Look at the three-wave pullback. And here's an example of a three-wave pullback right here. So you have an A, B, and a C. So let's just get rid of that. Okay. So we have a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, and then a wave 4. So 1, 2. This could also be a 1, 2, 1, 2, but I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to shoot up and get 5. I mean, that's kind of what I'm thinking here. But if we don't get 5, then either we got to come all the way back down here and back test right in here, which we haven't done yet, and then work your way into a retracement, or we have to come up and make a retrace, because this could always turn into something more complex. For example, we could get 3 down. This can come back up in 3, and then we would get 3 back down later on and then go up. So hopefully that doesn't happen, but that's kind of what we're looking at here. So it's never easy, you know, it's never easy, but it's always worth it. I think that's it. I'm not going to look at any more. What happened to Tia? Whoa, Tia just completely took the low out here. So too bad for Tia. Litecoin. Okay, yeah, we looked at all these. So Fetch. Oh, I like Fetch now. Fetch looks actually pretty good. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. Come back down 2, and then you have 1, 2, 3, and look at this. You have a three-way pullback for a 4. So 1, 2, 3. You get 4. Let's go up and get 5. Well, it's never a guarantee. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. You know, we could still, you know, it could take some time, but that's kind of what the shape looks like to me, right? Is that three-wave pullback. So yeah, I think let's look at total 3. Total 3 looks like it didn't even do anything. And this is the whole entire market cap of all the altcoins, guys. Look at total 3. It's jamming. Right? It is jamming in here. Look at this. Look at that. It's still at the all-time high. So we have, you know, this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's finished. But I don't think the 5th wave is finished. We have 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and then let's go up and get 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we look a little bit closer, again, with what just happened here, right? We have a three-way pullback. 1, 2, 1, 2. Here's a 3, ABC 4, and then a continuation. So let's see if we get that continuation. But anyways, that'll do it for this video. I'm pretty neutral right now. I think, here's the thing. I believe, and this is the last thing I say, I believe we will still come back down and revisit these lows. So there's two things that can happen. Either it's going to come and flag out and then continue trending up, or we're going to have to come all the way back down to the lows and create a base, right? So are we going to have to create a base, or are we going to have to continue higher and then flag out later on? So that's the big question, right? And you can see where we are. We're right in the resistance in here. Look at all this resistance. We came down, and now we're back testing it as resistance. Most likely, we're going to have to come back down a little bit. Hopefully, when we do come back down, we don't take this low here. If we start taking that low, it's going to look completely bearish. It's going to look a lot worse. So hopefully that's not the case. But anyways, remember, none of this is financial advice. These are just ideas. We're speculating on the market. And but yeah, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you can hit the like button, I know things suck, but hit that like button anyway and drop a comment. Let me know what you think, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Cheers.